Conversation Hat Podcast.
Welcome back to the Conversation Hat. This is we call it a comedy show. I don't necessarily know if it's any funny.
We call it a show?
Yes, it's definitely a show.
I thought it was just us sitting around in a shed talking.
No, this goes on the internet.
What?
Yeah, we actually publish this.
What's the internet?
Oh, this is going to be a long day. Never mind.
Okay.
Our guest today is Mr. John Wheeler, a.k.a. Barley Scotch. It's quite the name.
Comedy show.
Yeah, comedy.
Yeah.
Good start. Frontman of Hayseed Dixie.
Hello.
How's it going, John?
Hey, I'm holding it together. This is the best coffee I've had today.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Is it the only coffee? Or?
It is indeed, actually.
Good. I'll take it. That's
Yeah.
cool. Right. Let's assume that someone's never heard of Hayseed Dixie. What's the elevator pitch for Hayseed Dixie?
Oh, man, I tell you, I get asked this a lot. Trying to talk about music, what was it? Okay, somebody a while back said trying to talk about music is like trying to dance about architecture. If you're on the internet listening to this and you haven't heard Hayseed Dixie, just go to YouTube and put Hayseed Dixie in YouTube. You will see more options for things to watch than I would ever want to watch. And if you're trying to pick, I would suggest going to a song called I'm Keeping Your Poop. Justin Timberlake sang it on the Tonight Show in America about a year and a half ago. That's one I wrote, see. If you want to hear our reinterpretations of some rock and roll standards, there's a pretty cool version of Bohemian Rhapsody on there, I think.
Yes.
I don't know if it's cool or not. I've sung it about 3,000 times, but it's got a couple million views. A lot of people seem to like it, so I don't know. Have a look. And that will tell you what the band is. We call it Rock Grass. It's sort of we think of ourselves as being a rock and roll band playing on bluegrass and folk instruments.
Yeah.
Not really being I'm not a bluegrass singer. I'm not a bluegrass guitar player. But we sort of are rock and roll guys attempting to play that kind of music. So yeah. Some of it's, known rock songs. Some of it is originals. Some of it is just mashing things together and wondering what that would sound like. It's all one great big experiment. And 15 albums in, I've sort of been doing it 18 years now. A little bit too long to really consider doing anything else. So, hey.
This is it, I think. Maybe.
All of you who think we suck, well, tell everybody else to stop financing it then.
And I think by the time this episode goes out, you'll be on tour. Is that a Hayseed tour or is that a John Wheeler tour?
The Hayseed tour is 27th of January to the 8th of March.
Cool.
Around most of the Northern European plain.
Yeah.
And then in May, I'm doing about 12 solo shows around the UK. Me and a percussionist.
Sure.
I think it's kind of boring having just dude with guitar. It gets pretty
You got to have something in there.
Yeah,
well,
somebody keep the rhythm a little bit and play some boom and chick. I'm mostly just going to play electric on it. I'm going to drag a little tiny Terror hand-wired thing I got with a Gretsch around and play electric, which is the opposite of Hayseed, where it's all acoustic. But I'm also going to try to play some of the songs. I get a lot of requests in Hayseed shows for like B-sides, back catalog, album cuts, original songs that are not necessarily that well known. And I'd like to play some of these because in the Hayseed show, really at this point, about 20 songs is a show, about a 90-minute show, 2021, depending on how long a solo is or how much I talk between the songs, but roughly that.
Yeah.
And at this point, if we want to play one song off every album that we've made, we got 15 songs already covered. Yeah. So, there's about 12 or so songs that people kind of expect to hear, and I've always thought it was a bummer if I went to a show and the band played their entire new album, 2 other songs, and said, "Thank you, good night." It's like, well, heck, man. And it becomes more of a problem the longer that you go. It's a good problem to have, but so I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of the show that is already kind of pre-written in the Hayseed show, or else about 75% of the audience is going to leave feeling like I felt when I went and saw REM in 1985 and they played their whole new album and 2 other songs and left. I was like, you bastards, and never went and saw them again.
Yeah, completely.
So, they really weren't that great of a band either, if I'm honest, but there were a few songs I quite liked, and this is back before they decided to try to be so poppin', before Stipe thought he could write lyrics, back when he was just mumbling, and it was a lot better, when he was just mumbling and he wasn't trying to actually say something. When he started trying to say something, you got "everybody hurts," and I just wanted to put my cat through the wall, mainly because I hate cats. But it's not my cat, actually. It's
I was going to say, why even get a cat?
Well, it's not really my
Right, gotcha.
cat. Why is it always cat ladies? There's never the cat man.
I'm trying to picture that, and I don't know what that would be.
You know what I'm talking about? So, she's the cat lady.
Crazy
you never
cat
hear
lady.
like he's the crazy cat man.
I've just got an image of Batman, but he's just sitting on the wall licking himself. I might go and solve crime, or I might just run around at 3 a.m. for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, just jump up in the middle of the night and start running around the place.
Batman sitting on the wall licking himself. I don't know if I... That's a visual I can't unsee. I'm thinking that's pointy things. I mean, what's that going to do? He's going to cut his legs up.
There'll be an anime.
He might lacerate his own bollock with his little ear thingy.
I'm sure. If it's Catman, you will have had him done, sure.
Well stated, sir. We could just riff like this forever.
Genius.
What's the question out of the hat, man?
Our graphic artist is just going to
sure.
love drawing Catman licking his own balls.
So, Lauren, he's got to be bleeding out of a testicle, but like...
They've already been removed.
Well, here's an Appalachian Mountain joke for you. These two old boys are sitting around a cabin up in the hills, see? And one of them looks over and sees the dog sitting in the corner licking his own self, you know? And the one old boy says to the other old boy, points at the dog, says, man, I wish I could do that. And the other old boy says, man, that dog would bite you. All right, moving right along.
Genius. I love it.
The Conversation Hat Podcast.
Pull a question out the hat and then say what it says. That's the whole point of this podcast.
The animal you'd most like to date if you had to.
Catman.
Well, good Lord, animal I'd most like to date. God, man, you might want to edit this. It's going to take me a second to think of something.
That's all right.
What do you think? Would it be just like one day, or would it be like as a long-term partner?
It depends how the first date goes, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say from the outset.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the type of guy who tends to cultivate lots of little mini relationships, you know? I'm not,
Sure.
not necessarily anything real committed in the long term, but also not just like a one-night, one-off fling. I mean, that can be a little bit kind of ultimately unsatisfying. So I think I'd want an animal that was a bit, open to having more than one tryst, but not necessarily particularly needy. So we wouldn't want to go with a barnacle or a leech.
Yeah. That's a commitment.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something like a sloth,
parrot.
maybe.
A sloth.
A sloth, because then, like, if it goes wrong, I can't imagine they'd really give a shit. I reckon they'd be pretty free and easy.
Yeah, but they take
chill.
they take ages to get ready.
Yeah, man, but me too.
What is that?
So that maybe says more about me.
Yeah, you'd go for you're comparing yourself to a sloth, and that's what you'd find attractive about it. That it's a bit like you.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a narcissist, is it?
I'd go for a goldfish because you could take it to the same place over and over again, but it would always be exciting and new, so I'd never be boring.
Genius.
Because they just keep forgetting. And if I did something wrong, I'd only be in trouble for 5 seconds before they forgot about it.
Would you have to be submerged the entire time?
I'd carry them around in a bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'd go with a Tasmanian devil.
Whoa.
Because the shriek, they could sing backup vocals with me.
Yeah, they can get the really hideous high notes.
Yeah, those really high howls. Much higher than I can sing. I'm more of a baritone. So I want somebody to have a complimentary voice with me.
Yeah.
Not just somebody with really big, strong jaws.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mind eating dead stuff.
Oh, that's a bonus in
You
a
feed a
relationship.
Tasmanian devil anything, cheap date.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. You'd never have any leftovers, so it'd be,
Exactly.
that'd be easy to do.
And they're kind of rare when you walk down the street when people come up and say, hey, what's that?
Ooh, fancy.
Conversation starter.
The Conversation Hat.
Camping or death?
Death.
That you've had a bad camping experience, haven't you?
Yeah.
Go on.
I need to shower.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sat right next to you. You do need to shower, but why did you not like camping?
Just like lack of facilities. Like this is a big lie, but I'd like to think of myself as like someone that isn't necessarily glued to their smartphone, could do without the internet. Like if I have an acoustic guitar and I'm sat in a field for several hours, that's fine. But if I've got to stay overnight and I can't shower or have like a cozy shit, like I'm gonna go nuts.
Lovely poo. So we on the road, we'll be walking into hotel lobbies singing, all I want to do is make lovely poo. And it usually gets the front desk staff laughing. And what we mean by lovely poo is what you're talking about, getting to sit on the bowl in peace, in quiet, in warmth and comfort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And make lovely poo with no rush.
Yep.
And know you can clean up proper afterwards, not being on some Johnny on the spot where you're worried about the splashback coming up and it's blue-green disinfectant disinfectant stuff, or having to dig some hole in the ground, and along come the badgers to dig it up, and along walks some badger with your poo on its nose walking by you, or worse yet, shoving its nose into your Doritos sack. This can go real wrong. Have you ever been glamping though?
I have not been glamping.
See, now
that does appeal to me.
It's pretty cool, actually. There's a bunch of
imagine.
sites around East Anglia around here where you can. It's kind of like these safari tents, right? And they have little wooden stoves and things, and you can get them that aren't plumbed, but you can also get them that are. And why would you not get them that are? That have like a gas kind of trigger or propane or some kind of heater, so you can have hot shower. People could say that's not really camping, but it's about as close to it as I really feel the need to get. I'm with you, mate.
Like a caravan in a tent.
I'd love to go like hiking in like completely deserted areas, just really taking the wildlife, like as long as I can actually have warmth and a nice shit in the evening.
And there's no poo badgers.
No poo badgers. Well, there might be poo badgers, but they're on the other side of my massive tent or my
you know what?
caravan.
There's
fine.
the Appalachian Trail close to where I'm from. It goes from North Georgia all the way up to somewhere in New York State, I think. It's the peak of the Appalachian Mountain Range. I've never done the whole thing. There are people who have walked the whole thing, but it's got every sort of 15 or 20 miles, sometimes more, sometimes closer, but at least that. There are sort of little clusters of log cabins and lodges, or there's little towns. I mean, you'll pass towns and stuff too sometimes. You can do it just camping in the raw out there. There are also sort of like metal chicken wire kind of, but thick chicken wire that it's bear proof. Cages that are sort of the size of this room that you can camp in if you want to along the way. But that's or you can book these different little cabins and lodges. The times that I've gone up and done it, excepting one time, I've always booked one of the little cabins. They're not that expensive, but to me, it's a lot more, hospitable that way.
I feel like if we have to have a bear cage around your tent, camping may lead to death. So I'm going to go with
camping or death.
I'm going to go with
then death.
I'm going to go with camping on the hope that I don't die from bear,
That would be the worst way to go.
because then I might survive it.
I saw on a creepy note, somebody on my Twitter feed posted this picture taken by some photographer of a grizzly bear coming into a tent, mouth snarling. And all joking aside, it said on it, I didn't know this photographer, but it was some nature photographer. So this person was mauled by a bear to death in their tent.
Wow.
And this was the last picture on their camera.
Yeah.
So obviously he snapped a picture of the thing that was coming in to kill him.
Jesus.
The bear. I guess at that point, hey, it's for posterity.
Yeah. Let's go. Well,
You may as well.
Yeah.
at least people will know what happened.
I think I'd have been reaching for the 45 myself.
maybe.
If it was in America,
You've
which is
got
where it
two
would have been.
hands, though, so like
You could
camera,
do both.
You
He
could.
could have snapped a picture of himself blowing the thing's head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been more my approach.
That'd be so haunting if like the rest of the camera roll is just like idyllic sunset. Oh, look at them trees, nice mountain, fucking massive bear.
Yeah.
And then it's just Winnie the Pooh taking loads of selfies.
Wow.
Terrifying
That's
Winnie the
terrifying.
Pooh.
Here at the Conversation Hat podcast, we are incredibly happy to be partnered with the wonderful people over at Superloot. For $16.99 a month, Superloot will send you a big box of geeky, nerdy film, TV, game, cool stuff. Big old box of it, right to your door. $16.99. That's insane. You should have one. You should all have one. You should have several. Well, don't get more than one. But you know what I mean. Get a subscription. Do it right now. If you visit superloot.co.uk/the conversation hat, it actually helps out the podcast as well, which I imagine is something you'd be really into. And if you go to the website, you can also check out me and Ben unboxing some of their boxes. We are on their website. That's how close of buddies we are. We're friends. It's cool. You should help us by, I don't know where I'm going with this ad, but you should visit superloot.co.uk/conversation hat, buy a load of boxes, watch the videos, and we'll all have a good time. That was a coherent ad.
What is Wally, Waldo for yourself, what is Wally hiding from?
The person that reads the book.
The recognition of his own finitude.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's
Yeah, I guess.
the existential nature of life, the finitude, the fact that everything is fleeting and not permanent, the fragility of existence, and the fact that in the fullness of time, in der Vollkommenheit der Zeit, they would say auf Deutsch, in the fullness of time, the clock runs out.
Is that why he's chosen to document his life in a series of, I don't even know what you'd call them.
Books.
Books. Yeah, books. Why not?
Those things with paper in them and printed words.
Yeah, that's not even... Like, you can't even say you don't like
No, I
books
mean,
because
like-
of the words. It's just all pictures.
Yeah, but the title, Where's Wally? I get halfway through the title and give up. But I mean, like, is there a name for, like, just an image? It's not quite a montage. It's like...
A
Cartoon?
tableau. Is
Could
it
be a tableau.
A tableau? A tableau.
Tablox.
Or a tableau.
Tablax.
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 No, that's something I
For
take
when you
for-
need to pass tables.
Yeah! Tablax, when you can't quite find a table to poo underneath when you're camping. Unfold a Tablax. Instant privacy. Comes with its own paper roll.
Patent pending. Tablax.
Yeah!
We should take this on Dragon's Den or something.
Don't camp without it. Oh, if Trump was only still running The Apprentice, I would love to go on there and do that, you know. Hey, Donnie, when you go take a stripper out to camp,
Do you need somewhere private to grab someone by the pussy?
yeah,
Next time you want to sit under a glass table and be shat on in the privacy of your own bear cage.
oh, God.
Tablax.
You know, I miss George W. Bush.
Yeah, man.
You know, I didn't like him that much, honestly. There was a lot of stuff he did that I didn't really agree with, but we didn't have these kind of conversations about him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, you guys, he's a bit thick, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, probably, yeah, but not a complete creep.
Yeah, Jesus.
I wouldn't necessarily be scared to leave my 8-year-old daughter with him to babysit for an afternoon.
yeah.
He might teach her how to shoot a shotgun, but he's probably not going to grab her by the pussy.
Yeah.
She's probably going to teach him a few things.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, yeah. But Donnie, on the other hand, wants to date his own daughter.
Oh God, man.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I know you said don't talk about politics. This ain't politics. This is
ain't
humanity.
This is just...
Yeah.
God.
This is pre-apocalypse.
Yeah, would you leave your kid for 3 hours with Donnie to be babysat?
No.
Good Lord, no.
I'd
But we'll let him be president of the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Anyway.
So to recap, Wally is hiding from his own mortality.
Yeah, the
Existential dread.
existential
Or that
dread.
bastard who goes around with a pen and circles him in every book.
Oh, they were the
Always
worst.
at like the GPs or the dentists
yeah.
or something. Oh, I'll try and find... There he is.
Yeah.
There he
It's
is.
not a competition, mate.
Fear and trembling before the non-object specific existential anxiety. Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
The sickness unto death, as Kierkegaard would have said.
Yeah.
Would you rather visit space or all of Earth?
Space implies the vacuum,
Like a Hoover.
like a Hoover. Now, like space, surely is like the nothingness up there. Like implicitly, the question is like, do you want to go to Mars and Venus and Pluto? But
Not
actually-
Venus, you'd die. You'd be all
You
burning.
burn up, yeah.
Okay, well, not Venus then.
And
The
Pluto
sun. The
at night
actual
time,
sun.
so it's cold.
Yeah, genius.
Yeah, I'm kind of a completist. I think I'd want to cover all of Earth first and then move on to space.
Because it's like with Earth, I know what I'm missing. So like I do want to see like old Aztec buildings. I
Yeah.
want to see Tibet. I want to see all of it. But like I don't actually know what I'm missing in space.
So now, would we be able to come back from space? Is it like half hour or a day trip? Because if it was a day trip to space, I'd go there because then I can do the rest of the world. But if I'm gonna go to space and then that's that.
It does say or, so you just wouldn't get to see everything on Earth. That doesn't mean you can.
But you could see most of Earth from space.
Yeah, it's awfully far away, though. It's
People
like me
are-
looking at a can of beans without my glasses.
I think people.
What's that over there? I see some beans and some salt.
Are these beans? I'm not really sure. They could be peas. Could be corn. Cannellini beans or cream style corn? Hard to say. Where's my specs?
I think you'll find it's more about the detail when visiting Earth.
Okay. It's not just there it is. That's
You mean
enough.
like
Not necessarily molecular level, but like certainly.
we
building
can
level.
tell the difference between a Faro and ball paint finish and one of those cheap Johnstone imitations.
Yeah,
About the detail.
it's all about the detail. I'm going to say Earth.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I would go see all of Earth first, and if there still remains time in my existential void, if this mortal coil still holds a bit of space for my fluttering Geist, then yeah.
If there's still a bit of spring in the mortal coil, then you could use that to hop to space.
blood
about
still
bonus
pumps
now?
through me.
Why has it always got to get penisy with you?
Just when you say spring in the mortal coil, I just think we're talking about boners.
Mine ice
That's
shrinked.
just where my mind goes, I guess.
Yeah, so Earth. Let's stay here
Earth.
for a bit.
Yeah, let's do all of Earth. We'll start this afternoon.
Do all of Earth. You go back into penis
We'll do
again.
Devon first,
Devon.
then Norfolk, then China.
Okay, that
Yeah.
is the natural progression.
Yeah. Russia on the
Apparently.
way, maybe. I don't know. I want
Dog
to see Mongolia. Genius.
We'll see how it goes.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Conversation Hats podcast. I'm assuming you're listening to the very end because that's how much you like the show, which is cool. So I'm going to reward that by giving you a few ways you can get involved or support the show. Firstly, if you want to submit questions for us to answer on the show, you can post on our Facebook page or send us a tweet at Convo Hat Podcast. Secondly, if you're a Facebook user, you can like and follow the Conversation Hat page, which guarantees you'll actually see the stuff we share on Facebook. Thirdly, we post videos about the show to YouTube via the Stabbed Panda TV channel, so you can subscribe to that. We also have some official merchandise available on redbubble.com. Just search for the Conversation Hat podcast. You can find mugs, bags, shirts, all manner of good stuff. Lastly, for the super fans, you can set up a Patreon subscription which will give you access to new episodes of the show a whole week earlier than non-subscribers. Some of the different tiers of subscription can also give you access to behind the scenes stuff and patron only merchandise like hats, badges, which are not available anywhere else. So if you want to take a look at that, that is patreon.com/conversationhat, and feel free to do any of the other things, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.